let's be fully honest. Just like any career or any job in the world, getting into filmmaking will not be an easy task. It's challenging, it's daunting. You're going to second guess everything. You're going to compare yourself to everyone else. And it sounds like it's going to be the most awful experience in the world. And I know hearing this is very off-putting and daunting, but I've been in those shoes, I know what it's like. And in the last 10 years, I've gone from making no money to getting to travel the world for a full-time living. Because of filmmaking, I've had a lot of doors and opportunities open for me, and in this video I'd like to share some of my tips to help you become the best filmmaker you can be, and most importantly for you to get your first film job, because all it takes is one opportunity, and that opportunity can lead to an incredible future ahead. And now let's not waste any more time on this, and let's jump into how you can get your first paid job in the film industry. So this is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive to the video that I'm making here, but first of all, you need to forget about the money, because if you're new in this industry, you need to focus on the essentials, not the money. Right now, it's all about building your foundation. It's about understanding your camera inside out, learning about framing and lighting, and learning about everything that is involved in making a good video. This isn't a step where you're going to go to every company and ask them to hire you and stuff. It's about becoming the best filmmaker that you can be right now. This is also where you will start to look into and understand what it is that you want to do. Do you want to be a commercial filmmaker? Do you want to be a director, a DP? All of this boils down because it's essential, because you need to understand what it is that you want before you start to offer it to other people. I love filming, I love editing, and I love creating cool videos. And that usually relays back into commercials. But before I could approach any brands or companies, I had to really learn everything about my camera. Only after you understand and know all of this inside out is when you can actually start to offer your services to others. So to reiterate my point, forget about the money and focus on learning the fundamental basics. Only once you know that is when you can actually proceed to actually get into filmmaking. So you've done all that, you know the camera inside out, you know what you want to do. Now what? Well, this is actually the most fun part, and the part that even up until now, I still love doing the most, and that is crafting and building your perfect portfolio. This industry is built around trust. It's built around people being able to trust you to deliver on a product, and it's very hard to trust someone if they don't have anything to show for their work. So if you want to be a commercial DP, you're going to go get your friends and you're going to go film all sorts of things. Come up with ideas, collaborate with other directors that are getting into the space. If you want to film sport, you're going to go grab your friends, you're going to go run on a track until you get what it is that you want. You're going to make really cool videos. You're going to learn how to get better and better at filming these videos, and you're going to start creating your own portfolio. You don't need 50 videos. All you need is 3 to 5 solid foundation videos to show that you are a serious filmmaker and that you're not just any average Joe with a camera. And once you get past that stage and once you build your portfolio, you're going to be in a very good position to start pushing your work out. And obviously with this perfectly transitions me into my next point, and that is starting to post your work. Don't be shy about it. Don't just make all these videos for no one to see. Build a website, open Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, literally any platform where you can post videos on. Open it and start sharing your work. Don't just talk, show. Show others that you are a filmmaker. Show others what it is that you do. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because you don't need 1 million followers for people to see your work. You just need the right 5 people to see it. From my own experience, I don't have 1 million followers, but I do share my work. And sometimes no one will see it, which is fine. But then other times, there'll be tens and thousands of people that are gonna see it. And out of those tens and thousands of people, you have different brands that will notice it and will want to work with you and partner with you. And all of this comes from just sharing a simple Instagram post or a YouTube video. Because of this, new opportunities arise. So don't limit yourself to what you can do just because you're not sharing your work. People are watching, they just haven't seen you yet. The filmmaking world is built up of the fundamental idea of community. In order to be able to succeed and thrive in this, you have to have a community. That's not saying that you have to be famous, but you do need to be known. You need to be known for what you do. You can't be hidden or unheard of, because if you're unheard of, then that means your name doesn't get passed around between different directors, producers, companies, and ad agencies. And the only way to do that is by building a network and community. This can be as simple as inviting producers and directors out for coffee. It can be the same as starting to talk with other filmmakers in your niche and in your world, asking them for advice, sharing tips and tricks that you've learned, and helping each other grow. I think that's something that a lot of young filmmakers forget about, and that is really the importance of learning from others. Some of my closest friends in the filmmaking world all started around the same time I did, and we've all grown together. And it's absolutely incredible to see. You need to have people that you can send ideas to or collaborate with. Getting to grow with your friends is amazing, because if someone gets a really cool opportunity, they get to share it with you and with others, and it works the same way around. If a big job comes in, my first thought is to hire my friends, not people that I don't know. So make sure to start networking and start creating those contacts around you. And I understand that not everyone has the privilege of living in the big city where there's lots of filmmakers and creatives everywhere. I understand that because I came from a very small town too. But there's always someone there that's quite creative. And if there's literally no one in your town that you can reach out to and talk to and try to learn from, well, then the internet is your best friend. Literally, the world is at your fingertips to start making connections and making new contacts. It's literally never been easier to make connections. So make sure to put a lot of time and effort into it. Now you're gonna have to start impressing companies and reaching out to companies to try and work with them. This is where you're gonna start doing a lot of cold emailing, a lot of cold messages, and a lot of attempts trying to get in with different companies, different agencies to try and get your foot in the door. It's a tough challenge because you're new to the industry, no one knows you yet, but it's not impossible. You're gonna send hundreds and hundreds of emails and even more messages, and you're gonna start getting a lot of rejections, which is okay because not everything is always gonna come out positive. But you're gonna keep doing that, and you're gonna keep sharing your work to these companies, to all these people, and selling your offer and what it is that you wanna do. And most importantly, remember that just because you reached out to someone now and they rejected you now, doesn't mean they won't consider you later in the future. Some of my best projects and the best work that I ever did was work that came years and years after the initial contact. I've been chasing one client for one job for almost 3 years. And after hundreds of back and forths, eventually we got a project going. Now, this took me 3 years to chase this one client that I really wanted to work with. And I know it took a long time, but the reward out of it was it became my most profitable job I've ever done in my life. So chasing down these opportunities will take a lot of work. And it's also going to drain everything out of you, because if you're like me, you don't want to be doing this kind of work. You don't want to be doing sales and outreach. You want to be creating. But the issue is, the only way you can make it is if you do suck it up and you do start to reach out and do all of these salesy tactics. Now, I do have some advice for when it comes to reaching out, and I think there is a very certain type of etiquette that young filmmakers and new filmmakers should know about when reaching out to companies or other individuals in this field. For starters, don't reach out to really, really big companies. You are still just a beginner. You don't know anything about the industry. And to them, it's just going to be more of like a time waste than anything else. Unless you're reaching out to be a production assistant for some roles, that's totally fine. But if you're reaching out to the likes of Adidas, asking them if you can film a project for them, they probably won't even see your email, to be honest. It's very tough to break in. You will get to a stage where you will be able to knock on those doors, but when you're getting started, forget about those companies. Focus on local. Focus on the companies that are more accessible and easier to reach out to, especially companies that might not have big budgets. Because remember, you are still a new filmmaker, so you're not going to be dealing with big budgets. And finding those smaller budget companies is actually quite the ideal scenario, because they don't feel like a big risk paying you, and you're not taking on a huge risk of the size of a project, even if you are a little bit underqualified for it. So it's a win-win for everyone. And then remember, as your work gets better, you can level up from the small, easy to access companies into the harder and bigger projects and jobs. But by that stage, you'll probably be a full-time filmmaker and you won't need this video anymore. So we can ignore that. Now, I know this is working directly with companies, but there's also going to be times where you might want to work with a certain director or a certain producer. And this is where the approach gets a little bit tricky, because those guys get lots and lots of inquiries for people that want to work with them. When reaching out to them, don't reach out and just say, "Hey, hire me, I want to work for you." That's never going to work. The way you're going to get a reply is if you reach out to them and explain who you are, that you're getting into this industry, and most importantly, give them a reason to want to talk to you and meet with you. Don't just say, "Hey, I'm a filmmaker, I'm getting into this industry. Can you hire me, please?" Instead, go with the approach of, "Hey, I'm a young filmmaker. I'm just getting started in the industry. I've been working on X, Y, and Z for the last while. I've been loving the projects you guys are doing, and I'd love to maybe take you guys out for a quick coffee. And also, maybe I would love to come shadow one of your jobs. You know, I understand that you have your preferred vendors, but maybe if there was ever room for an extra set of hands on set, I'd love to offer myself up. I'm happy to do some runner roles or production assistant roles." It shows that you're more flexible and you're more willing to work, but also that you are open to just talking and starting a conversation. Because the truth is, you're not the only one that's going out of their way to meet these companies and meet these filmmakers. So give them a good reason why they should meet you. After all of this, you're gonna hate what you're gonna hear, but you're gonna have to be persistent, and you're gonna have to repeat all of those steps over and over and over again. Even now, 10 years later, I still have to keep doing that. You have to keep building your portfolio, you have to keep sharing your work, you have to keep interacting with the people around you, making new friends, and constantly connecting with new companies and clients and brands. It's a never-ending cycle, and you've just done phase one of it. Now get ready to keep doing this over and over and over again until work starts to land. And the sad truth behind all of this is that there's no way to speed this up. It's now just a matter of luck, because your skills are there, you're ready to be hired, you're available, but now you just have to be patient and hope that out of the hundreds and hundreds of emails and messages that you send, that someone will say, "Yeah, your work looks good, I want to hire you." You can get lucky and get hired within your first week or a month, or you might have to keep crafting and working on this for months after months. So remember, there's no such thing as a perfect shortcut. I'm not going to tell you exactly what videos to make or what to do, because that's not going to work for you. All I can say to sum all of this up is that you have to be consistent and to show up all the time. And the more you show up, the better your work will get. And the more people are going to see your work, admire your work, and want to hire you for future projects. And once you get enough of that, then you'll be in a pretty good position to not have to worry about it anymore. And trust me, you'll know you've made it when you've made it. You won't need this video anymore. And so yeah, that's everything you need to know to get your first paid job in the film industry. That being said, if you have any other questions or would like me to make videos about specific topics, then let me know. And other than that, I'll see you around. Bye.